Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Tiffany, chiropractor and holistic health and life coach. Let's talk about marijuana. If you were able to read the article that was published yesterday or the day before, which would have been Wednesday, or maybe you caught a news clip, new evidence does suggest that marijuana can cause heart attacks. And this is something that has plagued my community for years, and it definitely is something that needs to be discussed. And you may ask why. The reason why is because it does directly affect our health, whether people want to believe it or not. I often hear a lot of excuses as to reasons why people choose to smoke it or however they choose to use it, and everybody can make their own decisions with regard to what they do to their bodies, but also just always keep in mind that you're never exempt from the consequences. And this is something that has plagued my community for years, right? And at one point, marijuana was illegal, and that contributed to a lot of people going to jail for selling it. Well, now today it's no longer illegal in certain states, and you can go to a dispensary or to a store and purchase it. So the first question anybody should want to ask themselves is why? Why did this become something that's legal when it is something that has kept my people in bondage for so long? Whether you are someone that smokes it, whether you are someone that sold it, or anything and everything in between, right? It's something that has definitely had and still has a stronghold on the community as a whole, because a lot of people a lot of people that do smoke it don't think that it's addictive. And the truth of the matter is that is false. Anything that you become dependent upon is addictive. It can cause you to be addicted, and it is an addiction. So now, with the new evidence suggesting that marijuana can cause heart attack, stroke, or heart problems overall, you have to ask yourself, what's the difference between then and now, right? Well, the first thing that we must identify, or the first area that we must identify, is the fact that it was never okay. It was never meant for us to smoke. God did not create this for us to become addicted to. He didn't create it for it to be a crutch. And I know that a lot of times people say, well, it comes from the earth. Yes, so does poppy seed, so does opiates. Like, a lot of things come from the earth, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you, right? Everything that comes from the earth, the sea, or what have you, isn't always good for you. And that's a big misnomer. So let's clarify that right away. It was never healthy or good for you when they first put it in our community illegally, and now that it is legal, it's probably even more problematic because people can grow it, right? And with it being legal, you don't know what chemicals are being added to it. And obviously the chemicals that are being added to it by the farmers, those chemicals are harmful to our health, right? And it also can be due to, let's just say, the wraps that people are using. I know a lot of people use the wraps in cigar wraps or paper wraps or what have you. Those also contain toxic chemicals as well. So when you're using the wraps that have toxic chemicals, and then you're smoking this herb that also consists of toxic chemicals, then it's not a no-brainer that this causes adverse health effects. And the reason why it does so is because those chemicals accelerate a person's heart rate, right? So when you're smoking weed, people have a lot of different reactions, some that are visible and some that are not. The bloodshot eyes, the munchies, and they won't tell you that they have an increased heart rate, but that's also one of the effects of the drug. So when your heart rate has been increased for an extended period of time, your heart cannot sustain that, and that can cause a heart attack. Also, the chemicals within the wraps and the weed itself can also cause plaque in the arteries, right? Which raises your cholesterol, causes atherosclerosis or hardening of the arteries, and that can lead to a stroke. So you have heart attack and stroke, right? Both are common causes of death within the United States of America. Outside of those things, when you are high, or when a person is high and they get the munchies, let's say, right? You're not consuming healthy snacks or healthy foods or healthy quantities of food. So that also contributes to your health in a negative way as well. And I know that a lot of people use this or have this dependency because they say it helps them to relieve stress, right? Or it works as an antidepressant. It helps them to disconnect or not have to deal with their problems for a while. Well, the truth of the matter is that's not what you should be using it for. You should be going to God for any and everything. And if you have issues with depression and anxiety, maybe try some ashwagandha. Look into purchasing a healthy supplement or herb that can help you cope while you are seeking treatment and care to help you deal with the issues that you don't want to address. It's time to stop turning a blind eye to trauma problems and whatever other stressors you may be experiencing in your day-to-day life, and seek help, seek treatment, and use some herbs that actually are beneficial to the body and don't cause heart attack or stroke. Because a lot of people are now dying at a significantly younger age, and that's not something that we used to see oftentimes, let's say 20 or 30 years ago, right? But a lot of it is due to the drugs that the kids are using, whether it's lean, vape, pills, marijuana laced with whatever they lace it with, fentanyl. Like, all of these things are extremely prevalent in my community, and it is killing us at a faster rate than we would like to even believe or imagine. The Bible promises us 70. So God will allow us to live until at least 70 when we are living right. But when we are doing harmful things to our body, we can't control what happens once we consume the drugs, right? Or a lot of people don't think that it's a drug, the herb. Anything that alters your body chemistry in a negative way, and it's something that you can also become dependent upon, is definitely a drug. And it definitely wasn't created for you to use it to be a crutch. We have to take back our children. We have to be intentional about taking back our health, dealing with our problems and issues in a healthy manner, and being very intentional about not using drugs, specifically marijuana, and any other type of drug, whether it's prescription or street. You have to be very careful and very leery so that you don't become dependent upon it and lose your life as a result of that, which we have seen lately. not just the kids, but also the celebrities, the rappers. And a lot of it is because they are listening to this music and they're wanting to do what they hear these people rap about. And these people are losing their lives as a result of what they're rapping about, because they're really using the drugs and chasing a high. Because, as I've mentioned before, once you have reached your max with marijuana, then you start adding other things to it, because you're still chasing that high every day. So you start to mix, and then you start drinking and smoking, and you know, it just becomes a rabbit trail that people are going down. And before you know it, they have had some type of health issue or health scare that they can't come back from 100%, or they end up losing their life as a result. So please put the weed down. Seek help, counseling, therapy, or whatever it is that you need to do to address your issues. Try ashwagandha or any other supplement or herb that may help you overcome your stress, anxiety, and whatever else it is that you're dealing with, under the direction of your physician or whichever primary care provider you see. But the goal is to be intentional. We have to take back our community, we have to take back our health, and we have to be extremely intentional about what we're putting into our bodies and what we're doing. Until next time, heal holistically, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye.